I'm assuming is the job. I don't know.
Oh,
You never know these days who's got a job and who doesn't.
no.
All right, Roxanne Logan's. Who's got a job and who doesn't?
No.
Oh, I know.
Right,
Roxanne Logan's. Yeah, Logan's is saying that
Who doesn't?
the algorithm is messing with my subs every day. Every day. For the last month, I have lost subs. 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 every day. I would think they would do it once and be done with it, but they're doing it every day. I think the trick, I don't know what the deal is. I don't understand it. I've sent them notes, but of course, they never answer their notes. And it never gets better. Last night, I lost 4 subs in one night. 2 days ago, 6. Amazing. And yet I've had a net increase, mainly because I've had about 100 subs in the last month and lost 60 to 70. No, lost more than that. I'm actually up for the month of July. I'm up 9. It doesn't matter after a given point because it's hits that matter, not subs. It's just a little disheartening, when people who you've come to know and love get dumped off of YouTube. Makes you feel like they're out to get you. Oh, well, Paul C. Good morning, Paul. Angler Allen. Hello, Angler. Nice to meet you. Yellow Submarine is here. Good morning. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to have you back. Hi, Dwight. Dwight Foot is here. Good morning to you. Who else? I think I got everybody, don't I? StreamYard. Oh, yeah, right. Ah. Did anybody watch Lee's video last night in which, in the middle of the night, he was screaming and hollering at a bunch of kids on the street? Poor Lee. Thunder Aquatics. Hello, Thunder Aquatics. Logan's the drunken kids, right? Roxanne. Nice to see you, Roxanne. Let's jump over here to Dan Floros. Good morning, Don. Good evening from Sydney, he says. Good morning from Florida, I says. You know what? If I turn the video off on YouTube and the sound, and then I increase the chat, I can have my cake and eat it too. Logan's got a new filter coming today. Psychedelic Hippocampus is here. Hello, Psychedelic. Nice to see you. Yeah, the Funk Man is due here this morning. We'll see if he makes it in time for the stream. He's planning to come visit Father Fish today. Let's see. Rohan. Hi, Rohan. Sparring is coming in. I think I'll set up the other camera. What is this one looking like? just out of curiosity. A little blurry, but not as bad as it has been. Let's get this other one set up just to say we did it. Camera. And let's see now. Back to StreamYard. Share screen. Application window. Camera. Share. And I'm now on. So I'm now going to go back to live. And there it is. Isn't that amazing? Technology. Once you get it, you got it. J-Row. Yeah, it does look, actually, it looked a lot better. This is a much nicer picture than. Now, somebody said I had a blue box. There is a little blue frame. And I guess that's what they were talking about. And I don't have a clue what to do about that. Let's see. Thank you, Frank. Oh, listen, this needs to go back in the van. So I'm going to return it. So keep the wheels. And we'll try. Have you tried one?
They're all on there.
Oh, they're there. Okay, great. Need to put this back in the car. And I want to let's see if we can get the glut cleaned out from in back today. All those buckets and all the crap.
Okay.
It's an obstacle
Do we have
course
to
getting
do this?
through there.
Do we have to save the same as we took out a long
I don't know. No, we don't have to save it, but we can't just dump it.
No.
Richard will take it. You can load it on his truck or his trailer when he brings it, and he'll take it. You could take it. He dumps it in his driveway or his garden or something. So you could take a few buckets over there when you go. Look at that. That bird got me.
That's where it got to.
Yeah,
Dang, gone.
sure did. It's bleeding. Look at that.
Wow.
The bird bit me this morning. Ugh. Little bugger. Haven't captured. Well, now I've done it. Now I've done it. Now I've ruined everything. What have I done? Oh dear. Where am I? I'm back where I was. I managed to lose the other camera. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's see what people are talking about this morning, because I obviously don't have anything of any significance or import. The wounds on my face. J-Row. Why is that little square there? Somebody said it was an autofocus. And I just went into that utility, that whatever it's called, that program, to try to get rid of it. Managed to get rid of the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of it. It's tracking my face. Right. It was tracking the face on the picture too. Yesterday I noticed. Yeah, wasn't tracking the coffee pot. The like button, smash the like button. Where is like? Roxanne, Paul C. Thunder. J. Rowe. Jay's Fish say hi to everybody. Well, hi to Jay's Fish. There it is. 13, 14, 15. 15. Uh, Blurry Oski, who's notifying me? Fish Boy just uploaded my Yuki rice fish. What a pretty little fish that is. I just got about, Lord knows, I got 25 each from 2 or 3 different sources. I think I've got nearly 100 rice fish now. They really are a very, very pretty little fish. And they're inexpensive and they're easy to keep. Um, they're every bit as nice as neons and probably go really well with neons. I haven't really put them together yet. Thunder, Father Fish, I need your advice. My house cleaner bailed on me and all of her customers since this crazy time started. I didn't have the cleaners then. Now I know why I paid her every week. Help! Yeah, I know. Um, you don't want to see my domicile. It is. I keep promising myself I'm going to sweep it. When I walk around barefooted, I have to be careful where I walk so I don't hurt my feet stepping on things. The image was sharper, Dwight, with the other camera. I can put it back on. Um, let's see. Let me do it. Let me do it. Camera. StreamYard. Share screen. Application window, camera. Share. Back to StreamYard. Big one. There it is. Yeah, it's a much better picture. It's just a different camera. So, and this one focuses, but it's got that funny little box in it. I thought it did. I think it's an autofocus, and I have no idea how to get rid of that. Let's see. There are some interesting things going on in chat that I am to this point oblivious to. So let's get into it. Yellow Submarine 615 says, I just redid my 20 long yesterday, Father Fish style, and I was wondering if I should do any water changes on it in the beginning, or is it really as simple as not touching it? Well, we don't know what the water conditions were before you did the change. Check the pH. If you have a kit, check the nitrates. If the pH is 7.5 or better, and if the nitrates are below 50, then leave it alone. Or in fact, if they're below 100, leave it alone. If your pH is 7 or towards 6, between 6 and 7, then definitely do a 25% water change and do that twice a week. You can do it for 2 weeks. Make sure you use some kind of dechlorinator. If you have well water, straight well water, straight out of the ground, then you can do 100% water change without running into any trouble. What you need to be aware of, however, I'm trying to do something fancy here. Hi there. Push the window open. Can't hear you. I beg your pardon?
Where the nearest gas station's at?
Nearest gas station. Down the corner, just 1 block down. Um, do a water change if you need to. And need to means your pH needs to be, your pH needs to be 7.5 to 8.0. Your nitrates need to be under 100. Logan's wanted to know if I found out the exact species of the catfish. No, I have not. Jay asking about the pain from the catfish. I went into the hospital because I was feeling it in my chest, and I've got all kinds of heart issues, so that was a bit of a concern. They, after about half an hour or so, in which they checked my blood and whatnot, they gave me a shot of Dilaudid. Um, and once that wore off, which took a couple of hours, the pain from the sting was pretty well gone. It was just it was not painful at all anymore. And by the next morning, it was completely gone. He did not draw blood. His fin did not actually prick my skin. It simply got into the quick, and I guess under the fingernail or some such thing, enough to get into my bloodstream or into my soft tissue, and lit me up like a Christmas tree. It was amazing. Anybody wants to experience the thrill of pain, I have the formula for it. Yeah, that's as simple as not touching it. I will never be able to decouple not touching the tank from Lee, because he has made such an issue of that in such a delightfully humorous way that it will be forever with me, I'm sure. Peplin Creek, good morning, Peplin Creek. See, I wanted to, Thunder Aquatics. I don't know. There are some people who are still out there working. Maybe you can find somebody else. Where do you live? I don't want to be a cleaning service or a. I wouldn't mind a finder's fee though. Again, let's see. Thunder at Rohan, what is the temp? My boss likes it below 78. Rohan, anywhere, there's nothing in there except for some hydro, Java moss growing well, and a ton of organic matter in the substrate set up for a year. So you just capped it then. I would get a lot of plants in, load it up with plants, and put some fish in it. Get it cranking, Rohan. Cassie B is here. Hi, Cassie B. Sam Dam. Hello, Sam Dam. Rohan, my breeding plant at Aquarium is going through some changes. The glass turned milky white. Snails vanished, but no, it's cleared up. The glass turned white. That's odd. The water wasn't milky, just the glass. Sounds like steam. I don't know. That's funny. Some kind of, Logan says, a potassio catfish. Yeah, I think that's right. Would rice fish be better with a betta than embers? I think they're comparable. Personally, gee, I don't know. Rice fish are my new favorite, but I really like embers. Embers do really well with bettas. I would do both. In fact, I need to move some bettas into some of my Tetra tanks. Um, they do really well, and it's a good way to show off the bettas and demonstrate that you can put a betta in a community tank so long as there's nothing like a barb or something that's going to chew it up. Oh, better image. Yeah, it's a better camera. Why do you have that robot behind you under the plastic? My robots. Can you see my microscopes? Um, this is a dissecting scope, and this is a 50 to 1,000. Look at that. It's doing the picture that front of. The problem with this screen is that it's a touch screen. So anytime I touch it, it does things. Sandam, hello, hello. Cassie B. Rohan. We talked about his plants. Rohan, it's got a 10-watt LED over the 35-gallon tank, so may need to bump up the lighting if I need to grow out the polygonum pink. So then I would need a deep substrate. If you leave the light on 24/7, it will provide cumulative support for the plants. That works a bit. There's no counterindication that I'm aware of, but it does seem to help. Hi, Danny Ken. Good to see you. Chevy Fish is here. Hello, Chevy Fish. Yellow Submarine. I must be lucky with my tap water in Erie. It's mostly lake surface water. pH was 7.6 before I redid the tank, and it's still 7.5. Yeah, my hunch is that lake water is sitting on dissolvable minerals that it's taking in. It probably is spring fed with a deep aquifer water. So you probably have, it's probably pretty hard alkaline water. Most any water in Pennsylvania is going to be hard and alkaline. Great for fish. Rohan, Thunder Aquatic. I took out the heater yesterday it was around 24 Celsius. Let me check the current temp. Sam Dam. Size of fishes are stunted in small tanks. If constant water changes are done to the tank, will the fishes start growing and increase their size? Yes, unless they are severely stunted. Um, one of the really interesting research programs was done by the Ruskin Lab, which is an ornamental fish lab set up by the state of Florida university system to support Florida fish farmers. They did a project raising baby fish in which they fed the identical food to an essentially identical spawn in a series of tanks and did varying levels of water change running from flow through to no water change and everything else along the line. What they discovered is that the systems that had continually flowing water, new water coming in continuously, the fish grew much more rapidly and much larger than the systems with little or no water change. So take that for what it's worth. I've always believed that substantial water changes improve the quality of the tank. However, with the deep substrate, which they did not test for, and I might at some point request their efforts to do that, not that they would have an interest in it, because the farmers, well, in fact, the farmers are doing deep substrate when they put fish out in the pond because they're all dirted ponds. Nevertheless, I've discovered that with dirted tanks, I get significant growth. I don't get stunting. Stunting occurs primarily when the mineral level becomes so high that the water becomes much too dense. Remember, I was talking yesterday about this relative to pH. But it really has to do with DH and KH. It has to do with the parts per million of dissolved minerals in the water. As that increases and the water becomes increasingly hard, it literally puts pressure on the fish. And if you can imagine, it squeezes them. So they're not going to grow as well. Sam Dam, size of fishes are stunted in small tanks. I think generally that's true. J. Rowe, just bought an oak aquarium stand measuring 37 by 13. Want to know what size tank that is in gallons. In other words, what can I put on it? That's a 40 gallon. 36 is a 40 gallon. Not a 40 breeder. A 40 breeder is 18 deep front to back, but a 40 tall is 37 by 13. The 20-gallon tank, which is also the footprint of a 29, is 30 inches. So a 30-inch tank would be too small. You want to get a 40-gallon 39 by 13. They're two sizes of 30 gallon. They're both 36 inches. One is 36 by 18. That's the so-called breeder tank. The other is 36 by, what is it, 18, I guess.
For a 40 or what?
For a 40, yeah, it's taller than that, isn't it? I think it may be taller. We've got one out here, I think, or maybe we sold it. Yeah. 36 by 18 or 24. It's got to be 18. 36 by 13 and 18 tall. Anyway, you want a 40 gallon. Pardon? No, somebody's got a 37 by 13 stand. J. Rowe, 37 by 13 stand. They want to know what he can put on it.
30 long. 30 long.
30 long is, yeah, that's hard to come by. It's also a fairly shallow tank. What's it, 12 inches? 30 long. 36 by 13. Or is it 18?
No, I think
I don't remember either. Check 36, check 30 long and 40 tall. 30 long and 40 tall. See what's come up with. Oh, it's a Thunder Aquatics. It's a major trust thing, letting them in my space without me. They just walk. I know. It's talking about having somebody clean. My mother struggled with that her whole life. Finally found someone she could trust and used her. My God, she used that woman 40 years, and I used her another 10 after Mom moved to Florida. I had a woman here who was a dear love. She came in Saturdays and did a monumental cleaning job in Father Fish for, golly, 7 or 8 years, going on 10 years, and died 2 years ago. So that was sad. Frank's doing changing the turtle tank out here. He's got a, is it too long or what?
It's too
Won't
long.
matter though.
The register, you can't open the door.
You won't go this way, huh? Can you push it back against the wall?
I'll fix it up now.
J. Rowe says it's used. Oh,
You turn it this way. It's not tall enough to where it'll block here.
that would be all right. That'd be fine. That'd be less obtrusive too. Gotta wash the cat litter off of it, huh? And you're gonna prep it for refinishing. Well, it'll be nice. Those oak stands are nice. You'll like it. I've got a bunch of them right now. Suddenly I have about, my Lord, I don't even know how many, 4 or 5 really nice wooden stands for 55-gallon tanks. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. I think. Peplin's giving directions. Chevy Fish. Rohan saying if I need natural infusoria, then I need a ton of Java moths. That would certainly help because it'll allow it to continue to flourish. And there's nothing wrong with a ton of Java moss in the tank. If you can keep it going, it looks wonderful. See if you can get the Christmas moss. It's a little hard to come by, but it's really quite nice.
Might have to wait till
Grown
December.
out in a tank. Can I help you?
I said it might have to wait till December to get Christmas.
Oh. Oh, well, funny guy.
Yeah.
Frank's making funny over here. You collect it off Christmas trees, I guess. It grows when little lights start twinkling on coniferous trees.
Oh, that's when the name's made.
There should be a lid that'll fit that out there.
All right. I thought we had one. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you just grab a new one and put this one back with the new ones because it's still perfect. Thunder will not use a maid service. Can't blame you. Bud's Coins. Hello, nice to see you, Bud's Coins. What's happening? I don't know, not much. We're kind of slow getting in gear today. It's because Lee's not here. He did 2 videos yesterday that it just kind of blew me away. You need to go look at them. They're very funny stuff. Thunder Aquatics. I checked my 30. It has a 35 watt LED grow light from Sansi. It's great. I've got those. They're nice. I like them. Good morning, Lisa. Nice to see you. Petroman 1185. Hello, hello. Mr. Beach is here. Lumpy Dog is here. Lumpy Dog, sand in the pea gravel is doing well. I'll probably have to add more sand once it settles. It looks nice like pebbles on a beach. Thanks for the idea. Cheers. Yeah, I like it. I really like that look. And I've got a bunch of pea gravel. You could do that, Frank. Some of these these sand cap tanks, put a thin layer of pea gravel on it. It has a really nice look. We got that bucket of pea gravel out there.
Yeah,
Bring it inside so it doesn't get stolen.
I was gonna sift through that.
You think it's got cigarette butts in it or something?
No. Separate the small from the real.
Oh.
The small from the large and stuff. I don't know if you want me to do it or not.
I don't think we need to. It looks pretty good to me. Check it and see. If it's got big pieces, we can just kind of hand take them out. But they're not gonna. It's all
Well, I
all
got
the same sort of stuff. I think that's
it's
got to be level for those turtles.
They go inside of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that there. It was flopped. Cool. So we have, check what Frank's been doing here. He doesn't like his picture taken. It's because he's wanted by the feds. He runs away when the camera comes out. He thinks he's ugly. He ain't ugly. He's just manly. That is a Russian tortoise. There are also somewhere, I haven't got them in here yet, a couple of, where in the world are they? Oh, there they are. These are, I mean, he's probably thinking about leaving them in there. Not a bad idea, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. Chevy fish, typical aquarium sizes. Got a link. Good job. Howard Van Tassel is here. Good morning, Howard. Nice to see you. I'm going to be getting on my printer next week to try to get some things done. But maybe what I ought to do is just try to get one of the merch accounts, one of the merch services online. I could get coffee cups probably quickly that way and get them out. Um, Somebody want to give me that link. What I want to try to do is Father Fish coffee mug. My problem with this is coming up with a graphic, and I just don't have a. I've been able to figure out a way to do that. These pictures, like what you're looking at right now, are the obvious way to do that, and I've got hundreds of them on my channel. I just haven't been able to pull one out that's really a good one. So I need help too. Need a little help getting a decent graphic and coming up with I can buy coffee mugs and have them put Father Fish on them. Lumpy Dog, how's USPS shipping been going? Mostly delivered on time? Question mark. Answer: yes. Actually, it's been going really well. Um, I've shipped a few fish that've done well. Plants have done well. Just getting my button gear and getting them to the post office has been the main source of slowdown. So Monday, I've got this stack of orders here I need to go through. Monday, we start shipping out. The heat is mainly what's doing me in. I got to do it out in the fish room, and it's been deadly out there. Java Moss is sending extensions all along the gravel, Rohan says. That's nice. Lisa Perez, nice Chevy Fish. Mr. Beach, just bought a 75-gallon. I'm a little nervous about the weight. Any suggestions for a solid stand? You're going to run, well, think of it this way. 75 gallons at 8 pounds per gallon is 600 pounds. Plus the tank is another 50 to 75. Sand is going to be another 100. So 6, 7, 7, about 750 pounds. That's 3 men my size. I'm not quite 250, but I'm close. Three big men. That's what you need to be able to handle. So the floor is rarely an issue. The stand simply needs to have stable uprights. If the uprights are stable, the pressure is all downward pressure. So it's really not going to crush the uprights. And if they're stable so that they don't slip to side, then you will have a strong, stable stand. You can certainly buy a metal one, but I've had a couple of end tables come in recently that are very solid and very strong, real stable pieces of furniture that I've got big, heavy tanks on. It's not as bad a problem as you would think. 4 200-pound men, 6 150-pound men. Um, The main thing to do is to test it and see if it has any flex going side to side or front to back. If it does, that needs to be controlled. A crossbar stapling those two together with a 2x4 screwed in with a couple of screws, like a 3-screw system on each side, will hold it perfectly stable. That's the main issue, to make sure your uprights are 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 totally stable. If you can do that, you're not going to have a problem. Let's see. Dwight saying mud must use dirt. Um, I don't understand your question. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, and I'm not getting there. Explain what you mean, Dwight. Mud must use dirt. If you're talking about the density issue, like with clay, then it really needs something to break it up to allow the roots to go through it. Peat moss or sand are the two easiest ways to deal with that. Do they go in water? They do go in. We probably ought to put a big one in there
Yeah,
so they can get in it. Putting water in with these
that's a good idea.
with these tortoises. I'm sure he's gonna find one here. Every time I move the camera, he runs off. I know how to get rid of Frank now. Just hold the camera in my hand. J. Rowe. Let's see. Howard. Oh. Well, a couple of people had commented yesterday, I think, or the day before, that they would like to have a Father Fish coffee mug in the morning watching Father Fish. And I thought that was really cute and I liked it. And I want to do it. So if I can come up with a merch supplier, I'll try to get a graphic to them and see if we can't get that on Get Gills right away. Thunder. Oh, I wanted to back up this Rohan comment. I saw many plants along a canal, but it's a steep slope. Tempted to go down. I know about those steep slopes, and I don't do them much anymore. Not if it's a big one. It's a big steep slope is more than I want to try to manage. I'm fairly unstable anyway. If I could get some weight off, I think I'd be better able to handle it. You could always roll down or slide down on your butt, but then you got to climb up on your knees. Depends what it's worth to get the plants, I guess. Talking about going down a deep slope to a canal, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank's got the same problem. He's got bad knees. It's hard for him to do it too. Let's see. Bud's suggesting that Mr. Beach build a stand. Pretty easy
Yeah.
to do if you have any sense at all of how to create something that's level. And that really is the key. As to leveling a tank, if you put a minimum half-inch sheet of styrofoam, 1 inch is better, between the tank and the frame, it will auto level. Thunder Aquatics. When placing a large tank, do not forget about the floor. Can it hold that much weight? Are the legs, feet small? Placing on that pressure on old 3/4 inch boards. So yeah, I have had situations where I placed some kind of plate under the legs, either a furniture dish or a board like a piece of plywood the size of the tank for the tank to sit on in order to displace the weight. Well, he got it.
Yeah.
That looks all right.
Yeah.
He's got that big hunk of that big pond in there. We'll see if they grow in it. They might go in it.
Yeah, I'd like to hope that they could soak. At least the boxes should. I don't know about the Russian. And I really
They
have,
all should.
yeah,
We'll see if they do.
okay. And I really have a lot more greens for them. I just
You put them in the water.
Not in the water in there yet. He's
Oh.
gonna mess it quick.
Oh, it's going to be messy.
Oh yeah.
With that bottom, there's nothing for it. Mr. Wilcox is here. We can go home now. Fish Pappy is here. Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, he is, isn't he? Yeah, I'm backing up.
and what did she set up the screen?
No.
We don't need the light on.
Yeah, I got the screen for it. Wherever I put it.
All right.
Is there a screen down there?
Mr. Beach, J. Rowe, Chevy Fish, acknowledging, saying, Mr. Beach, so maybe a home built stand. Thunder Aquatics, hi, Chevy Fish. Andy Dean, hi, Andy.
All right, get out.
Nice to see you. Andy's the past master. It stands for tanks. Andy goes out weekly buying tanks. He could outfit a small shop. In fact, I've considered it. In fact, that opens a door to a conversation I want to be having with some of you that will do remind me. I want to talk with a number of you who are doing substantial fish rooms about setting up small retail operations, basically as an expanded fish room. That's really what the Father Fish experience is all about, and that's the best way to promote it because it gets a dedicated hobbyist in front of people on a continuing basis with the kind of information and support that's needed to be able to be successful in this hobby. Let's see, we got a bunch of stuff here. Andy's suggesting a 3/4 inch pressure treated plywood for the 75 on a 55-gallon tank. I was going to suggest that earlier. It really does work and it really is effective. What Andy is suggesting is a 55-gallon stand with a piece of 3/4 inch marine plywood, 6 inches wider on each side. That's 12 inches wider than the stand itself. Oh, 6 inches total wider, front to back. front to back. So it's 3 inches on each side. Same width as the 55, 6 inches deeper. It's really effective. It's stable. It solves the problem. It's a cheap and easy solution. And you can attach that if you want to, but there really is no need unless you're going to have 300-pound drunks falling into it, in which case it wouldn't help much anyway. But you can stabilize the wood on the frame if you feel the absolute need to. Lee Wilcox is here. Hi, Lee. Logo as a logo for the cup. Right. Oh. Well, these are stickers, but they're not waterproof. They're paper. I could get some waterproof ones. Maybe. What is this note? Whoops. Well, maybe it is waterproof. It's kind of plasticky. Let's see. It's a little too big for this cup. Here you go. A Father Fish coffee mug. Oh, well. Let's see if we can get something nicer. Father Fish's store on GetGills. Videos on my method of quarantining. No, I don't quarantine as a rule. And if I do, all of my tanks are set up so that I can shut off the water supply going to the tank and it quarantines that tank. So if I need to quarantine, I can do it very easily, separating any tank from all the rest. So it's kind of a non-issue for me. But generally, I don't quarantine. And generally, you don't have problems. The only problem, I've had 2 problems. Ick is one, and that's quarantine doesn't prevent ick. Ick is caused by a sudden drop in temperature, basically. That's the primary cause. That happens seasonally. And it can happen. It happened last week in a couple of tanks when we went from 90 to 95 degree weather to 80 to 85 in a day. And I had 2 groups of fish develop ick and die in a day. It just was, or I should say, die before I caught it. They were geophagus and chromides. Didn't lose anything else. Geophagus and chromides, 2 fish that are very sensitive to a sudden change in temperature. The other issue I've had is with the dreaded neon disease. And I treat that when I have it with triple sulfate. It absolutely requires treatment. And even at that, once the fish gets it, it's as good as gone. You don't get it back. So part of the treatment protocol, this is a disease in which the center of the body, you get it on guppies as well, guppies and neons and a few other more delicate fish. The center of the body, from the dorsal down, loses its pigmentation, turns white, and is as good as dead. So I simply take them out and dispose of them because there's no way to save them. And that by doing that assiduously, you really can control it. But once it hits, it runs like wildfire. You got to keep up with it hour by hour. It's that rapacious. Lee. My latest video contains extreme and offensive beyond all reason language. Well, not from Gullymon's point of view. Be warned if you watch it. Yeah, he was mouthing off for a good half hour. Frank, who has the biggest mouth around, was listening to it and kept saying, "Shut it off, shut it off." He didn't want to hear it anymore. I listened to every bon mot. Every bon mot. Mainly, I was curious as to whether it would work. He's trying to get rid of some obnoxious, ratty kids on the street screaming and hollering. So he screamed and hollered at them for half an hour. They did eventually go away. I guess they tired of it. That for a while they were giving them back as good. It's like staring someone down. You know, the person who stares the longest wins. My daughter, and this locks in for me about the stare down. When she was 9 years old, I did a stare down with her. She beat the pants off of me. After half an hour, I couldn't maintain it. I kept trying to think of a way to end it. I finally tried to rub her nose. But she could beat anybody in a stare down. She is one tough broad. Hard lady with a heart of pure gold. And I don't need to go beyond that. Lee. So I'll tell you what my suggestion is, Lee. Get a very powerful spotlight. He ate the worms. Oh, we're feeding worms to oh, look at that. To our
Ornate
box turtle, ornate wood turtle.
wood turtle.
And he likes it. Look at that, he's biting it anyway. He hasn't figured out how to get it down yet. But he certainly is chewing on it. He's managed to kill it. Here we go. The tearing foot system. That always works. How about them apples? Well, now we know something.
Yep.
How about that? Our ornate wood turtles are bug eaters. So a very powerful floodlight. Powerful enough to put them in daylight in the middle of the night. That probably could work as well. They might start throwing stones, at which point you call the cops. Mark Honert. Hi, Mark. How are you? Thunder Aquatics. Exactly. Lots of older homes have no subflooring. Big problem with big tanks. You do need to make sure your big tank is running perpendicular to the beams, to the floor joists. So it's sitting on 2 or 3 or 4 joists and not running along one of them. But putting a separate board on the floor, the size of the tank, a little wider for the feet, so that the feet are on that board, goes a long way toward distributing weight as well. Thunder Aquatics, pick which shirt with name. Right. Yeah, I'm working on that. I've got a printer, I got a price. I need to find a picture. As soon as I get a picture, we can do it. And we got a little what is it called? A logo that says "Keep it dirted." Keep it dirted. Fish Fish Pappy likes the last video. Hi, Fish Pappy. Nice to see you. Lumpy Dog. Thoughts on a compost aquarium. A place to discard plant cuttings. Use light and air stone. May be a great environment for infusoria, seed shrimp, scuds, and so forth. Really good idea, Lumpy Dog. 24/7 light. Lots of light and keep it on. And just glom it up with plants. And it will get more glommed with plants. Cassie B wants me to do a quarantine video. I probably ought to do, all right, here's the list. Here's the list. 15, number 15, quarantine. And of course, I got a pen that doesn't write. It really does. On with that one. Quarantine video. J. Rowe. Jay says offensive language often contains the raw truth. Depends how raw the truth is, I guess. Lee Wilcox. Someone told Golimon he should have pissed on them from the window. Oh, now that would have been good. Why didn't I tell him to do that? Because he was down there creating chaos. He wasn't up there with you. He was down there making noise, waking you up. He says, I was scared and slow, I guess. You didn't sound scared and slow. You sounded very dominant and very pissed off. A great DIY aquarium stand build videos. Oh, he said there, Lumpy Dog is saying there are lots of videos on building stands on YouTube. Howard, loved your video, Lee. Yellow sub, thanks, B. Thunder Aquatics. Floor joist as well. You cannot put several tanks on the same joists. Or run them in a line. Don't stack them up. Ultims. How do we get them in Australia, anyone? Lord knows we can hardly get them here. Ultims are not easy to come by. You probably can get them coming out of the east, coming out of Vietnam. Vietnam's got a bunch of pretty good angel breeders. That's what I would do is look for an exporter from Indonesia, maybe. There should be some in Indonesia. Breeding ultims. You could almost run that across the bay. Good morning, Hat Trick Farm. Good to see you. Golemon sends his hate. I dare say. Swampy Acres Homestead is here. Hello, hello. Baits and Genetics. It's the turtles. They're cute as heck. I gave my turtles some worms last night and a couple of coals this morning. They're very happy. Lee Wilcox, poor Dame Rochelle. She was so heartbroken. We all sent her love, and she's bouncing back with a lovely idea on a way to keep her baby. Talking about a crayfish. Boy, I got way behind here, didn't I? Coffee is converting my garage so I can sell my frying plants. There you go. Setting up a little local shop. That's the key to it. Lee's Aquatics says Hillbilly. Hillbilly Nomad is here. Good morning, good morning. Mr. Beach says 75 gallon is my dream tank. So I'll make it happen. And J. Rowe is teasing about getting thin in Australia. Okay, we went way back. Now we'll go way forward. Coffee. Just figure out best way to keep the heat in. Being in UK, things get cold in winter, and I want to heat it, not the tanks, to keep the heat in too. The garage. One clever way to do this is to line the wall with plastic, put some furring strips over the plastic lining, and then put another sheet of plastic on the furring strips. That creates an air gap, which acts as a very high quality insulator. And it prevents airflow and will keep the temperature, will keep the heat in as effectively as if you did styrofoam sheeting on the walls. Another benefit of doing it this way is in the summer you can blow air with a fan between the layers of plastic in order to cool down the interior environment. So creating essentially a plastic bag surrounding your fish room is a way to be able to insulate it pretty effectively and pretty cheaply. Thunder Aquatics. This is why I hope we close on the building. It was built for Thunder Cave way back in the 50s. They just thought they were building a plumbing school. Pretty neat. Hat Trick, JH. Baits and Genetics, likes the turtles and has turtles. He's feeding worms to his turtles. Mentioned that to Betsy.
They're eating right now.
Yeah, they're eating super worms. We could feed them earthworms as well. In fact, we could buy the red worms. I've not been buying the red worms. We could buy red worms and feed them. I'll get that over Monday. I'm not going to try to take it there today. Although they might be open. Is that going to close okay?
No.
That's weird. Why is it doing that?
Because it's not packed exactly the same.
Oh, maybe you, well, try it, yeah. Swampy Acres, Bateson, Danny Ken. What time is it? 10:15. We're having a good time. The 10 o'clock crowd is in, I see. A lumpy dog. Actually, I have a small 5-gallon bucket compost. Been running for months. I plan on creating much bigger, 50-gallon or so. Very clever. Frank Lumpy Dog is talking about plant clippings, throwing them in a vat or a container just outdoors where they can kind of fill out and give you lots more plants. We're not throwing anything out, so it's kind of a moot point. But any of the plants that are going down, that we're losing, if we throw them out in those tubs outside, we might get them to come back.
I've got about 30 gallons of exactly that one.
Yeah, we can put them in the black ones for that matter. I noticed the plants that are in there are doing pretty well. The water sprite and so forth.
Yeah, the water sprite.
It doesn't take a lot of light to get them going. Bates and mine love turtles, love earthworms. Imagine not much difference. Sliders, the box turtles. Yeah, we have 2 terrestrials here. We've got Russian tortoises and ornate wood turtles, which are from South America. And they're eating superworms right now and loving them. Manish is here. Hello, Manish. I didn't see you come in. There he is. Says, can I transfer some guppy grass from one aquarium to another? Will it disturb the equilibrium in the main tank from which it is removed? Well, don't talk to Lee about this because he'll probably give you bad advice. We guilt tripped him over cutting his plants in his tank and then getting disease. But yes, you may do that. You may pull plants out of one tank and put them in another. What the critical thing is to not do it to such an extent that you're substantially removing plant life from one tank, because that does affect equilibrium. And that's kind of the issue that occurred with Lee when he did a haircut on his anacris. All right, Mr. Beach. Thanks to you all for the great advice. See you next time. It's 7 a.m. here, so off to work. Sounds like the dwarves going off to work, singing their song. What is the song?
Whistle while you work.
Whistle while you work, right. Captive air is one of the best ways to insulate, not only for heat, but sound as well. That's interesting. Chevy Fish is saying that King of DIY has aquarium stand builds like a greenhouse. Exactly right. Swampy Acres. That's what you're creating as a greenhouse. Thunder says my compost buck started with a banana peel.
Hi, Betsy.
I needed infusoria for some new hats fry. I just kept it going and started adding cultures. So banana peels, a banana peel in each of those vats is going to be good food for the infusoria.
I put it on the pineapples.
Pineapples are good.
No,
Yep.
no. Banana peels on pineapples. The plants.
Oh, to grow them.
The bromeliads, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Lumpy dog. Guppy grass moves nicely. It grows fast if nitrates exist. You don't need to move much. Once you have a lot of guppy grass, you can harvest every other week or so based on nitrate levels. That's right. It's really a great grass, particularly for baby fish or trying to get lots and lots of small fish, or for that matter, spawning things like rainbows, uh, which you take out the lump of grass every day with eggs attached. Lee, I was in Cuba mudlarking in a river, just checking out the fish, lots of mollies. There was a sudden storm and the water temp dropped some 75 to cold. The fish were fine. What is my point? Your point is in a river, only the surface is going to drop very quickly. The bottom is heated by the temperature of the earth, so it holds the temperature pretty stable. In a very large body of water, temperature changes much more slowly. What point did you want to make there, Lee? And mudlarking. Mudlarking. I thought mudlarking was simply, you've used the word in a way I didn't understand it. I've been watching the mudlarking videos on YouTube involving people who collect, uh, uh, what's the word I want? There's a word for things thrown away. Collecting from the River Thames, from the washed up littoral edge when the tide goes down, and becoming memorabilia and the like. I defined mudlarking in that context. There's another term that my daughter and I employed when we went out collecting in the creeks and rivers. We called it mucking about, and still use the term mucking about to to define collecting little stuff in creeks and whatnot. Roxanne learned that goldfish eat hornwort too. Goldfish will eat anything. They're amazing plant eaters. Roxanne, KCB, I was thinking about floating a basket in my pond to keep the hornwort in, as the blackmores don't make a salad of it again. That works really well. I have some devices here involving a little ring of styrofoam with a net in it as a bag for plants in koi ponds, goldfish ponds, and the like. Another way to do that is to create a shelf and barrier the shelf so that the fish can't get onto the shelf. And then you can actually do potted plants up on that shelf. A third way is to do like with lilies, where they're not going to eat the lily, but they will root it out. Put pot the lily. You want to always pot lilies anyway because they have a tendency to take over a pond in 2 or 3 years if you don't. Pot the lily and then put large enough rocks on the top of the pot that the fish can't move them off. Lee, you answered my quandary. The earth holds the temp. Thank you. Sorry. Golimon was mudlarking, looking for lost precious items. I was watching fish. Indeed, he do. Probably not much precious items in Cuba, I wouldn't think. But have you gotten down to the River Thames or some other Great Brit river to find shoe buckles from the 1700s? or the like. How to kill blackbeard algae without killing the plant, Mr. Jet. Depends on the plant. If the plant is a floating plant, then you're going to need nitrates in the water to keep it going, so you can crowd out the blackbeard by simply having more of the desirable plant in the tank. Cassie B, my goldfish. Oh, we did that. Cassie B's trying to get rid of her goldfish. She says, my goldfish is in a 20 aquarium, so I can't separate plants, but that sounds good for a pond. Yeah, you need to do something different with the goldfish, I guess. Cassie B's good on goldfish. Has several hundred babies that'll need homes. We'll need homes soon. Heather Nielsen and Scarlet Aquatics. Good morning, good morning. We're running on here to 10:30. We'll have the 11 o'clock crowd in shortly. Chevy Fish calls it scavenging. Yes, quite so. Not the word I was looking for, but it certainly fits. All right, we're running long here. Let's put a period to it and catch up with you all in the morning. I've got people at the window, and I've got to make a pit stop, so we're going to run along. Thank you, everyone, for plugging in. It's been a lot of fun. We actually answered a few questions and had a decent conversation, which we usually do. Got 38 thumbs up. Thank you all. 40 watching. Did pretty good. God bless. Take care. See you all. Oh, thank you, Thunder Aquatics, for the $5. I appreciate it so much. Fish people had Swampy up late last night. Yeah, apparently Roe was up. Lee did look in a river humble, but all he found was shopping carts, a stolen motorbike, and used condoms. Oh well. Finishing up here. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Father Fish, for the stream. Thank you, Chevy Fish. Thank you, TA. Thank you, Thunder, for the super chat. Happy Fish Day, says Psychedelic Hippocampus, while it's fall. Have a good day. God bless you all, one and all. See you in the morning. Bye for now.